All right. Well, listen, thank everybody for taking some time to hang out with us. It has been quite a first and second quarter. I don't think any of us are going to forget 2020 any time. Beast of a year. So we've overcome, the challenges of civil unrest and the emotional pull on our hearts from that. And of course, the concern for our families, for the agents and the agency with the coronavirus, on top of all of just the regular challenges of life that we have to overcome. So we're just extremely proud that you all have done so well. You have remained focused. You've kept your divisions not only doing well, but excelling, breaking records. And as an agency, we could not, would not, should not be here without all of you. So thank you so very, very much. I know I was talking to Rory a couple of days ago, and he even said, I think you were talking to a friend or something about some other agencies.
Yeah, I talked with a friend that I've known for years and years, and he's in touch with agencies that do what we do all over the country. And he was telling me how bad things were. And he says, how much are you down? Everybody I know is down 30, 40%. Half the companies I talk to are down 50%. He says one up in New Jersey is down 80%. So I guess they're not doing hardly anything. And he couldn't believe that we're not only not down, and I just did the number summary, and our second quarter numbers, April, May, and June, are up 20% over our first quarter. So congrats to all of you guys for really making some transitions and getting people on the phone instead of in the field, and making things happen. We have a really talented team. I appreciate you guys.
I agree.
Well, hey, we appreciate you guys. I mean, whenever we saw this coronavirus coming, everybody was, oh my goodness, how do we adapt? I know, Rory, we had conversations, Henry and I had conversations. Then the agents were worried, what do we do? What if we can't go out and meet with people? And I told them, don't worry. Rory Doherty is going to make sure we win, no matter what happens, whatever the investment is, he's going to make it. Henry, I've always said Henry has enough brain for two people, big enough brain for two people. He'll be having his thing.
That's why he wears a big hat, right, Jonathan?
Big in the ORC hat. He has to have a bigger hat for the rest of us. So I knew it would be fine. And so we're thankful. I know I am, and I know the other divisions are too, for you guys stepping up and having a plan when other companies are fading and struggling and may not even reopen from this pandemic. We've actually excelled like the numbers you just gave, Rory. I'm also very, very grateful for my own team. I'm honored actually to be part of the team that bears my name. And the people that stepped up during this time, I mean, I think of people that on our team that had never even sold over the phone before when that was made as a way to sell. You had folks like J.R. Reed, we call her the classy closer. She didn't want to sell on the phone. You know what she did? She maintained her long distance stream by selling over the phone. Didn't have a clue what she was doing that started made it happen anyway. John Marquez, we call him the total package because he always delivered. He just had to start delivering over the phone. Everybody that stepped up in leadership and was adapting. So I'm very thankful that in a time when others are losing work, losing income, losing jobs, wondering what's going to happen, in a time of uncertainty, we've been more certain than ever of our bond as a company, finding a way to earn and to win. It's been a great thing to watch and to be part of.
Yeah, I would have to agree. In my division, we've actually sold more in this time span during this coronavirus than we have in previous months. I mean, we were actually able to be the first to 100K division. And I would like to thank many of my agents that have that was having some challenges with getting out in the field. But when we were able to transition to be on the phone, a person that comes to mind is Katie Green. You know, he was the true definition of no excuses, only results count, where he did not have a computer, he did not have the headset, but he found a way to still get in contact with his leads and be able to make his sales over the phone. So that was wonderful. I had another agent who had some issues getting out in the field, but once we transitioned over the phone, Jackie Abel, she made it happen. So you know, I just look at I mean, when you think about it, to start talking over the phone, when people always complained about their call sessions on Friday, that one day of being on the phone, now to have to be on the phone every single day, but we have soared in this pandemic. So it has been awesome for us. So we're very grateful to the executive team for allowing us to transition so smoothly from being a field force to being on the phone.
Oh, thank you. But we're grateful to you all as well. Absolutely.
It's funny when you talk about that transition, because that's really the thing that I think the most about. You have a 100% field force where that's what they do every single day. They're in the homes with people. They're driving to and from their homes, and then all of a sudden, they have this transition where now they're home all day. And they've got all the distractions really of home as well. Sometimes you can be distracted in the field. Sometimes you can be just as distracted at home. A lot of kids weren't in school. So there were those things to contend to just what this new environment looked like. And the fact that they've been able to take this transition and be at home and excel, I'm super proud of just our leaders that were in the field, a Michael Carithers and a Marty Billingsley that had transitioned to the phone and remained leaders. Sometimes that's hard to do when you're so used to doing one thing, to making this transition. And kind of like what Jennifer said, I think of Emma Daniel that had phone problems the entire transition. People literally could not hear her on the phone. And every single day, she sold something. I don't know how. I don't know if she was sending pigeons to people's homes, but every single day she sold something, and she stayed on that leaderboard. And it was really, really just impressive to watch. So super kudos to the executive team for you guys putting this in place. They can't make the transition if you guys don't make the transition first. And you did, and you laid the groundwork for them and for us to be able to do it. So thank you back to you all as well.
Yeah, I mean, here in the Torres division and obviously everywhere else, I'm just thankful for the guys and the girls all over the agency, not just on my team, because you go from having all the distractions in the field, environmental stuff that goes on, the rain, the snow, the heat, the bed bugs, the little critters that crawl around, whatever it is that you have all that stuff out in the field. So you would think when something like that happens, you would think you'd have the perfect atmosphere to have success. So when you go into the home, you think you'd be able to control your environment, but then you realize that you have an access to a TV, which is a lot more comfortable than watching your phone sitting in your car, or you have all this stuff happening. And then you have the news that's playing, and you have all these different things that are coming with people being divided, and then the corona this, and there's so many different opinions. It's just, you have all these different distractions. It's hard for people to actually stay the course and look forward towards a common goal. So it's nice to actually see people be able to stay focused and tune out the distractions just like they would out in the field. Because I mean, as we grow, it's just going to get harder and harder and harder, but it just seems like everybody in the agency is just focused on getting to where they want to be.
Absolutely. I think a lot of the folks that are selling over the phone now, they have a newfound respect for telesales. You got to be careful what you ask for, right, James? For years, we heard, oh, let's get on the phone. Then we got on the phone, and it's a new world, but they've had some success. What about over in telesales? What have you been seeing?
Two things I wanted to say is, obviously, from a telesales perspective, it was very difficult to make that, adjustment. People didn't realize how convenient it was to just walk into a building and have everything work. And there was IT people, and I'd come fix their phone, or we'd help them get set up and all that. And all of a sudden, we essentially had to close the office here. And so a lot of people were able to step up and learn how to work from home without having people, next to them to support them, and to not have our numbers dip. And people's kids weren't in school, and, they had family members and all this stuff going on in the world. And to eliminate those distractions was really impressive, from 20-year-olds just getting started in this business and staying the course from home, all the way up to 81 years old and not being able to leave the house and still, making sales and getting after it. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is super grateful to Rory for building the structure, but our entire support staff, also had to make a massive adjustment, because we essentially had to shut down the office and to not miss a beat, where Tanya and Teresa and their entire staff, continued to support us from home. And if you called the home office during, the pandemic, you had no idea that the office wasn't open. Everyone answered the phones like normal. People pulled up, FISAPs and got everybody, set up without even missing a beat. And a lot of families, so they've got kids running around and parents to take care of and all kinds of stuff. And to have a 20% increase is really a testament just to all of us and all the agents and all the support staff and everybody, all hands on deck. So it's been quite an adjustment there. So
James, was it May or was it April that you guys had your best month ever in the history of telesales?
May was the best month. And again, a lot of different things. And you think about other people. I mean, Justin had just joined SLS a few months earlier, the end of November, actually. And instead of having, an office to send agents to and train and me going down there all the time, I had to stay home because of Sam and all that. And, he really stepped up and didn't make excuses and continued to train people there. And, the leaders in telesales here were all hands on deck, and they all learned how to set up USB headsets and how to get stable internet and how to find free internet in some cases. So, that really, all hands on deck, everyone kind of, that rising tide raised all the ships, and we ended up doing really, really well. So very cool.
Well, it was great to be reminded of all those stories that you all have been sharing with us over the last couple of weeks and months, and it's only going to get better and better. But the pressure's not over. We still, as we're watching the news, there's still more distractions waiting for us, and we're going to have to press through that. But the same pressure that makes diamonds can also make dust. And so it was encouraging for us that while we saw our coaches and CSLs and President's Club members and our team builders and our regionals, they became diamonds. They were shining bright, leading the charge, both with their production and also with training and supporting their teams. So, man, I hope you all get a chance to let everyone in your divisions know how the executive team feels about them. Definitely convey that thanks out to all of the teams from us to them.